I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Order guide you. Stabilize. Burst forth.
Impertinent fool. Come to be. Witness my great undertaking.
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
This is order.
คู่รักว่ะฆ่าคู่รักฆ่าคู่รักทิ้งทางลง
Stabilize.
Worthless. Useless.
By royal decree!
Stabilize!
Oz, reveal thyself!
Moments of birth.
Order guide you! Gather!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Gather!
Boring. Live.
I will have order!
Feel this ancient power. Come into being.
By royal decree!
Boring.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Gather!
ดีมไม่ดีเลือดป้องกัน3 เม็ดสกุระ
Thank you for your gut. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
May knowledge guide you.
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so... what Paimon means to say is...
The Yashiro Commission's seal.
ชิโร่
This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's... In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro...
Well, that sounds more like... Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere.
Who forgot their promise?
เฮ้ย
I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
ใครบอกว่าฉันไม่ได้สัญญาฉันยังนั่งเสียใจอยู่เลย
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form?
เอ๊ะ เอ๊ะ โทมะ เป็นหมาเหรอ เอ้า หรือว่ามันล้อเล่นวะ
Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Leo Harp?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
all right.
Oh,
I've had
don't
my
gang.
fun.
โหนึกว่าเป็นหมาจริงแต่เป็นน้องหมา นอน
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Ms. Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because...
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning. Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
กินตูด
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Talu มาลุ
Books were more interesting.
พง เท่าแก่ของน้ำชาวอดเป็นถึงเท่าแก่เลยนะมึงถามหาพี่ชาย จะไม่ลืมที่จะถ่ายรูปโอ้ยมึนหัวเว้ยโอเคอุ้ยกองไม่ว่าอะไรใช่ไหมคะขอเลยนะฮะเอ๊ะ108,000ใช่หรือไม่18,000ว่ะหน่วย10ร้อยพันหมื่นแสน108,000เนื้ออีกนิดนึงยังไม่ได้เปิดเลย
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't. Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing
Visions.
มิชชั่น
visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt degree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent vision, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one, and this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being...
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare, and yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kami-san...
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything.
มิชชั่น
Did something happen?
มิชชั่นที่เป็นจาวิทอะนะคนละมิชชั่น
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm... Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
เจออายากาเลยปีนปีนอยู่โดนจับจับปีนปั้นอยู่กับลูกมีอะไร70 เมตรโอ้โหเรายังไม่เคยไปทางนั้นเลยไปตรงนี้นั่งก็อยู่ข้ามฟาก
Time to act.
the threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Time for some training?
By royal decree! Take flight!
Let me read you a verse.
My apologies! Sakura swirl! Oz, reveal thyself!
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Submit for judgment!
ไปก่อน มีแต่น้ำแข็งนี่มันทันทีมากมีแต่น้ำแข็งสู้น้ำแข็งได้อย่างไร
Rain outlines your fate.
There you are, eavesdropper.
Ring cutter.
Let me amuse myself.
Take flight. Kamisato art. Sometsu. My apologies.
Shine no longer.
Rain outlines your fate.
Swift and merciful!
Take flight.
นานี่
No, my sword! Rain outlines your fate. By royal decree!
ปั่นตามร้องเพลงด้วย
Body and mind.
หาย อ๋อแปลงร่าง แปลงร่างเป็นเสา
Oz, reveal thyself!
ร่างเป็นโยโย่โยโย่
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
ก็เคยเห็นในเจ็ดแชมเบอร์มาแล้ว
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on?
มาแล้วสินะ
Oh, behind the screen?
ทาทาบิโต
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving gifts. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of at present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds. Given the contact a commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain a traveler. Lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go!
ง้อเราสิง้อฉันสิ
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill...
What are your wishes?
They pertain to three whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
ฟังคำอะไรกันเขาสามคนที่สุด
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster...
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
สู้ๆนะเพื่อน ไหนแล้วอะคุณหนู คุณหนูวาร์ปได้จะเอ๋มาคุณหนูวาร์ปได้ โอ้ยแม่งเนื้อเรื่องโคตรยาวเลย อยากจะเล่นใน iPad แล้วอะแบบนอนเล่นแบบสบายๆ นั่งเล่นโคตรปวดหลัง ให้กับผมไปไหนเหรอขอรับกับผมขอสุขสนอีกสักประเดี๋ยวแล้วกันก็มาแล้วขอเปิดหนักใจขึ้นไม่ได้ลำบากขึ้นอย่างไรนี่ไม่ต่ออ้าวโอเคไม่เป็นไรไหนๆก็ขึ้นมาขึ้นแบบปกติไม่ได้โคตรสวย
Huh.
Kami, please. See that he stays safe.
I summon thee!
อ่ะศาลเจ้าอย่างนั้นเหรอมาเสี่ยงซิมซีได้นะ คัดซีนว่ะแบนดาบอิเล็กโทรเนี่ยมันไหนเปิดกองอ๋อจะเปิดร้านเพชรลูกเพชรมาร้านนี้แทนนั่นแหละครับชาบูชาชาบูชาชาบูชา ประวัติศาสตร์ดีลุกเขียดจังเลยไปที่ไม่เจอ
Protection of the Electro Archon. May the blossoms of the sacred Sakura bloom eternally. Protection of the Electro Archon. May the blossoms of the sacred Sakura bloom eternally.
เฮ้ยเลย ลงไปแล้วตาย
Ayaka told us about.
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden? After all,
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had the children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go.
What happened?
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree.
บางอย่างเกี่ยวกับการล่าวิเชียร
It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became... I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want...
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of... True. But that's not why. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave and all that? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you... But if you can't remember anything... Oh! Maybe if you just try a little harder...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do...
I keep a diary?
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find a stuff...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We...
เสือก นี่วางอยู่นี่
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have today. The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little. So today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back. Seems like your average dad. Huh? Wait, I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to...
ไม้นี่มะเขือเทศเก็บไม่ได้เหรอ
So this is the omamori Tejima... interesting. Looking at the color and the design. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance... at Tejima. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima Bear must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again?
คอนดานะที่นั่นบ้านที่ปลอดภัยของเรา
Huh. So the reason Tejima came here was to wait, but he's been here for 30 years. Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. But I have no... Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when... And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regrets, everything I felt for her. It's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that. Thank you. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hope. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in. At least we were able to help him. What? According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
ขอไปตีบอสก่อนนะ อีกสักทีดิเลยป้าย
Live! By royal decree!
This is order.
Witness my great undertaking! Burst forth!
Gather!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
I will have order. Solidify.
Come into being!
Oz, reveal thyself!
Gather.
Evil conquering! Here!
2 อันโอ้อุ้ยสวยอยู่นะก็ได้อยู่ไปทำเควสต่อขาดซากุระว้ายเลย
It's on the other side of the ocean.
แรมซี่แรมซี่แรมซ่า
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the vision hunting. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation! How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about
You dare deceive us?
Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be past. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man. But he's shown it's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he...
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently...
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would...
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provision?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had...
He seems to be telling, but we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure... We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods, we really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides...
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history. You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson!
Whirling snow! Let me read you a verse. Huh? Yeah! Sakura swirl! My apologies!
Oh, there goes all the Mora! We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed?
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with value. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what...
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOU?
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
น่าจะบอกว่าอย่าทำอีก
Yes, of course. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Just...
Shut it. Let's just get out.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put... However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOU.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each... Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was... and no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seemed most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword.
Sword? What?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to... In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the... Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle...
But we didn't buy...
Information is also a kind of commodity. Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 more I should be...
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa... Let's go talk to Kurosawa again, and see if he can remember...
จ่ายตังค์สองกัน
What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything I said was...
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions. But
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded by... I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed before he passed away, and said to me, with this...
hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some word. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice?
Virtue and justice นะอ๋อว้าวลึกซึ้ง
Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been, but what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need, and look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision, and the very people I was so desperately trying to help. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Mountains and unrelenting willpower.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous swordman. Hyman heard that he's the present-day master master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something...
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got...
From the way you're dressed, please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new... I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a... Sensei's name is Domon. A name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over. And he refuses. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil spirit. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than...
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
Whirling snow!
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But since they defeated Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him. So the exorcism can finally the ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the... We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them. Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted!
How did you... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior?
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster. Studying Meikyo, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Meikyo Shisui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. But Domon was different. Sensei scolded. I thought so too at the time. Only then did he was consumed.
Sure sounds like...
Because until he arrived, of all the disciples, Domon's arrival later. After that, So, when I heard rumors that he had lost, I decided to quiet. So you see. Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like still kinda...
ไปเร็วๆเลยกัน
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean that he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim, and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand... I must leave now, but we will...
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sin...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is... Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our...
Sure! Who knows? Maybe...
นี่ดีจริงๆที่มาเปิดไว้ก่อนไม่งั้นนะมา
Do you think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junya is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever—
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please.
As you can see, Lady Yai.
ยายเฟยยายชื่ออะไรยายยายยาเอกไม่ใช่เหรอ
Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right?
ยาเอกเก็บแปลก
This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his—
ยาเอกมิโกะ
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean he—
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, as one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of—
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to it requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to ride. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. Much like a—
Poor sensei. To think he—
I'm sorry. It's all my fault, Father. Sensei.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Onsai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Onsai. Why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I don't think most of the— Now I know that, but that is no
But what if one day I put if there's a chance—
Have you asked them what they—
Sensei, I can't know whether I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually—
Goodness.
You see? Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened. So, just as I once placed— You are not in the same position that I was.
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The empty— But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned, and this is my promise. And I humbly—
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you again, but I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo any— Well, don't just stand there staring at me.
So even though his ambition was taken away—
Traveler, a moment, please.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to the— For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, You set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
กดไม่ได้
I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
นี่คือหูเหรอจิ้งจอก
Ooh, Lady Ai seems to have taken a... She seems super mysterious. We can come back to it another time. เวทโคตรยาวก็ได้เล่นกัน
Fourth, my plan.
By royal decree.
No rest for the wicked. No rest for the wicked.
I summon thee. Oz, reveal thyself.
Get out of my way.
My apologies.
Happen. โอเค พอแค่นี้ก่อนแล้วกันโคตรนานแบบเวทบ้าเวทบอลโอ้โหมันเลือกดีนะสมัยโอเคพอก่อนนะจ๊ะ
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Let's see. What else do I have left to do today?
Bye bye